I'm going to be a teacher, so I can have my summers off that I can go driving a tractor.
All in all, then, you think this was a good purchase? Jack, the 11th of February, and this is the first Slurry video we've managed to make this year. We had to travel to Kerry to get it.
Down to the kingdom.
What exactly went through your head whenever you thought, right, I need a Slurry spreading tractor, I'm going to buy a Challenger?
Yeah, like we kind of went down the line and looking at track dumpers and kind of other bits and pieces, but it's just down to compaction and ground not being suitable down here this time of the year, and the weather as well, not playing ball really.
Because when does your Slurry season open again there?
The 15th of January.
Okay, so you're one of the earliest then?
Yeah.
Like this time of year, normally people are flat out spreading, but it seems to be just that people are just dropping tanks that are too full, and that's it. It seems to be working in your favour this year.
Yeah, we were only saying the last day that it was a good year to buy. We've only had this year as our first year with it. We got her in just middle of December and kicked on from there. But
were you spreading Slurry before then?
Yeah, we bought our first umbilical system 6 years ago. This is our 6th season, and we upgraded. Then we had that one, a 10-metre single macerator for 5 years, upgraded into the 12-metre this year. When we were buying the tractor and tracks, we said we'd go extra width just to reduce your turning. Ground this year is just very wet. We've had, I think we counted it there, was it 3 days that we've got no rain. The Monday you came down, and that the Sunday before it, and the Saturday we had a small bit of rain at Friday night, but just relentless rain since really.
It was meant to be like the wettest January on record in like 143 years or something.
No place are swimming.
But you seem to be getting away not too bad.
Yeah, going good now. Yeah, we're more or less busy now since the opening. We're flat to the board since, and a couple of weeks still ahead of us all the time.
Like, would you have been this busy last year whenever you were?
No, definitely not as busy. No, definitely not. We had kind of the start last year, if I remember rightly, we were busy for the first maybe 10 days, very busy, and then the weather broke. We stopped for a while then again, but this year now we've just been constantly busy to date now.
A lot of the stuff you're putting out, is it just lowering tanks as well, or what? Or are boys just getting out?
There's a good few now that have been under pressure now to date. There still even is, but we're not having to, like we would have seen in previous years, we were going to a fella, running to him for maybe 2 or 3 hours, nice short pump, get enough out, drop him a foot, that'll do you a week, run to the next man. There's rain coming, things like that, whereas at least now we're able to say we're able to travel again tomorrow, we're able to, both fellas, get enough to keep them happy for the few weeks, kind of work our way through the jobs, and then in the end, then again, now give it another couple of weeks and we'll be back to the same fellas again, then doing a couple of different places.
But the grass growth is really surprising for the wet year as well.
Yeah, so we've seen it there in the last field over, the one I had spread a few weeks ago. It's just improved so much.
Like a lot of people would say there that spreading Slurry in January is too early. This year with mild weather, like the only problem with the grass here is it's going yellow because it's not got enough nitrogen.
Yeah, sure, like you've seen that one over, like the difference that made in 2 or 3 weeks, like I was saying, it was phenomenal.
Nearly first cut ready if you're up with us, but maybe not just not
quite get the mowers onto the tracks next now.
No, I think that might be a bit too far now.
Yeah, it would be. It would be.
Where did you end up buying this thing from, or where did you come from?
Carlow, just in Carlow outside Wexford. Arable farmer had it. He was saying that he was just going to upgrade. He was going to go for another Cat again, another Challenger. We had very little to know with him, like when we went up, and just talking to him, he was happy with it. He said the only reason he was changing it was for upgrading to a newer one. So that's then where we just bit the bullet then, and we said we'd go with it then.
What year is this thing?
04.
04.
Good spec for 04.
Cat would be fairly renowned for their engine being
Well,
good.
that's one of the main, I suppose, like when we were looking into it and checking them out, like we know the cat engine is good. Now it comes with good engine and good power, diesel consumption, but the engine is good, so we said like that it's one less thing to go wrong, really.
How many hours has this thing done?
It's 7.5 because the service just came up only the last day that
Okay.
she'd be looking for the service now shortly. It's about 7.5, 7,800 maybe in around that.
So what sort of work was she doing before this?
Discing, 10
Discing.
metre disc, I think. Yeah.
So she was maybe realistically only out for a couple of months of the year.
Yeah, and the lad then that we bought it off of insulated sheds and like in all year round. I'd say when it came down here, it got a bit of a rude awakening to the weather conditions. It was left out in farmyards and fields overnight in rain. So
And to be fair, like this thing is next to immaculate. Like
yeah, it is. Yeah,
Like, see-
yeah, well-minded tractor. Seems to be.
like I would have had no idea what age this thing was until I looked up at the age.
Yeah,
You're talking 22 years old now. Like,
yeah, and only 8,000 hours, we'll say.
what would have been the alternative if you weren't going tracks?
We looked at, we'll say, we were going tracks. It was only a matter of
Yeah.
what we were going to get. Was it track dumper or track tractor?
Yeah.
It was kind of our looking, and we kind of said, at least with the tractor, there's a bit more versatility in it. Not that we plan on doing anything else with it, but there's
Just
always
yet.
the chance. Just yet, yeah. There's always the plan that you can change. You can go to something like a disc or whatever it might be. For the driver as well. It's fine for me driving a track dumper in January, February. It's lashing rain and it's cold. And there's probably no radio. Whereas, at least if there was someone else to sit up and drive it, there's going to be some bit of driver comfort in it. Then you're like, if you're looking at your track dumper, then as well you're looking at mounting your dribble bar on it, and then that's all it's going to be
Like
used
come the
for.
summertime, you'd need another dribble bar nearly if it was mounted.
Yeah,
to
and like your
the
engine to
dumper.
take it off then as
Yeah.
well, or at least with this, it's like we got her in December, the end of December. She came at night. The next day we said we'd put her on and make sure that the load sensor and everything was working. Had it on in 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Track dumper, you're making up brackets, you're doing you're fabricating, trying to get it right.
Whenever you were speccing your new Slurry outfit, did you do anything differently since you were going for this machine, or?
No, we kind of had always said we were going to upgrade this year as such as well. Like that, I think we were always going to plan on the 12 metre with the double macerator. It just makes it handier for reeling up. You can see a lot more. But we definitely said when we were going buying tracks, we said we'll definitely go for the wider. It makes life a bit easier. The only additional thing we have on it, now I'm not sure if it comes standard on them or what way, it's the hydraulic dump valves. So like the way we're looking at that is if you're in a yard where there might be stones in the pit or anything like that, and at least if they get caught here, you're dumping them out there and then you're not having your macerator blocking. And as well then, like when it comes to, if we were to blow out with a sponge, it just means you can knock the macerator off. When you open the valve, then you're just take your sponge out.
So what made you go for the Mastek system then?
We were always Mastek. Like when we bought our first one, it was Mastek. We had Mastek, say, front compressor, seemed to get on well with the lads. We deal with a fella in Waterford, Michael Houlihan. Who supplied it with us. We get on great with him. We looked at different ones, but I suppose like ultimately we came back to Mastek. We were happy with him first day round, so we said, why change it if it's not broken?
The pump you have, is it a new idea? Because I haven't seen one of those before.
Yeah, they're relatively new. I don't know, are they out for the year or so? They were at the ploughing maybe last year, I think, with it, kind of launching it at that. But that's the pump and compressor, the combi unit. So the kind of thinking behind that was we want to be able to run a front reeler on the tractor pump, and it just makes life easier for whoever's carding, at least. Then they're not having to do as much reeling, and as well if you're transferring tanks, it makes life a bit easier. You can blow out the line, you're not having to reel up a pipe with slurry in it. And then when we were changing the pump, we said we might as well go all out and
Spec it right.
yeah, spec it right. We're not going to be changing for a few more years. So
Yeah. Well, how much pipe can you hold in the back of this one then?
the back reeler, is it a 1400 metre, I think, but I don't have it loaded that much now. I think I'm only up at about 1100, so about 250, 300 maybe on 5-inch on the back here, and then the rest in 4-inch, and then the pump tractor then has one of the older front reelers that we had, and that has 600 metres of 5-inch. and the other front reeler then that we have along the yard is an 800 metre reeler, and that then has the bit more 4-inch then. So I think on total we're near, is it 1800, maybe 1900?
20 pipe.
Yeah, plenty.
And can you spec one of these with front linkage or not?
Yeah, we price front linkage for it, but
Okay.
that is the plan down the line. Either make up something for the front linkage or buy a front linkage as such. But just when we had spent big on the new system and this, we said we'd hold tough on it for the minute.
Well, I suppose then you're not having to put the front compressor in the front link or anything like that. That saves you. That's your front reeler then, basically.
Yeah, so like we don't find that we're looking for the front reeler. You know, that's in the yard now. It's not like we're going places where we're like, oh, we need to bring on that front reeler as well. The summer when pumps get longer, the silage ground, we'll have to have something made up by then.
You think this will be out in the summer then?
I think so, yeah. I think, well, one of the ideas behind it as well is like you're not losing a second tractor in the silage season when we're carding, so it'll mean we have 3 tractors still in the yard for silage, which means you're not having to sacrifice drawn bales, you're not having to sacrifice anything like that. So at least with this we can stay carding, have your 3 tractors instead of say last year when we had only kind of 2 running in the silage outfit. It just makes life a bit handier.
What does the rest of the fleet look like then?
So we've the long wheelbase 165 pump and the short wheelbase 165 they're on the low loader, they're both Pumas. One is an 11 and the other is 18, and then we have a 150 case maximum in the yard, so 119 or something. And we've McCormick then, kind of that was the tractor on the Jules, the McCormick, so she's kind of gotten a bit of a break now. She's not, well, I like to say got a break. You can say demoted. Lost his job. Yeah.
Made redundant. See, majority of your slurry work, would it be drag pump, and I see you have a nurse tank as well?
Yeah, I suppose the majority of our work would be just direct pumping, but we've not the winter just gone, the winter before it, we were looking at nurse tanks. We kind of priced around, we'll say, properly engineered ones. Price was a bit too high for when we hadn't the work built
How
up
much
already.
was a new one, do you remember?
I'm definitely north of 30 odd, I think.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong now. And like that nurse tank that we have now, it's just an old meal trailer. Had a bit of time in the winter to go messing with it, and
So you did that yourself then?
yeah, done that in the yard just in the winter when we've a bit of time off, tip away at it. Yeah.
From what I hear, your brother's pretty handy on.
He is, yeah. He's the parts department, I suppose.
parts.
Yeah, he looks after that, and then he gives out then when we're not when we're breaking stuff. It's good to have someone in the yard that, like, we're all relatively good with spanners and we're good at minding things, but at least if there's any kind of relatively bigger job or a job where you need to get going relatively quick, he does that. So it just makes life handy.
Was it a big job then making the nurse tank, or
No,
what was
it
involved?
Hardest part was sealing it.
Sealing it, yeah.
And take 7, yeah. Just heaps of take 7. Well, cut out the middle departments, cut out the lower side of them, kept the high parts for bracing, put on the higher sides are 2 feet extra. So you're gaining a bit then on that, and the back blower at the bottom, we just cut a hole out through it, welded a pipe on, bolted on, then your clamp and stuff, and it seems to work fairly well.
What was the sort of time frame to put that together, do you know, or was it just a sort of a nighttime project, or?
We're relatively quiet in the winter months, so
Yeah.
between coming and going from it was a few weeks. Getting the steel, getting the bits and pieces, getting the sight glasses, just small things like that are the ones that kind of took the time.
And how much money do you reckon you've saved overall?
Saved overall, I think I made it up, was it slightly over 10 it cost us.
Right, yeah.
So that includes trailer. No, the tyres weren't great on it when we got it, so we had to put kind of tyres on it. But trailer, bit of steel for the sides, sight glasses, clamps, so much after that, just a bit of hours and hours. But in the winter, when we're quiet and we're looking for something to do, we don't mind putting the hours in. Then
roughly then you're talking 20 grand saved there, just by
if you're saying that,
Yeah.
if we're saying nurse tanks 30, yeah. And as well, like when we hadn't the custom for it, we hadn't the work for it.
Yeah,
we were saying we were not going to spend 30 grand and say, or whatever the amount might be, and say, oh, we're not going to gain that back. Whereas at least with that nurse tank, there was no high cost.
Because at the time you weren't sure if customers were going to want you to bring it.
Yeah, we maybe had one in our head where we said they might use it, but we weren't too sure about many other ones. So, but it's picked up now. We're using it a lot more now, which is good.
How much gallons do you think your nurse tank holds?
I think we kind of made it up fully full, which we're never going to get flown out over the sides. Probably just over the 10, maybe 11, maybe in around 11 and a half-ish, I'd say, if I was to guess now. When we measured it up, I think at the time, we said it would be around the 11 and a half. You're never going to get 11 and a half into it.
No.
If like where we were
unless
nurse tanking
you're on a perfect.
Yeah, where we were nurse tanking last day, it's sloping down to the left and sloping forward, so you're never going to be able to fill it fully then.
Yeah. You have some of your own tankers then?
Yeah, we've 2 Abbey tanks, the 22250s.
Do you, in the future then, do you think you'll be looking at more tankers, say with a boom or?
Yeah. That would be, we're definitely looking into tank 3,500 is what we're probably thinking tanker wise, tandem axle. Boom would be ideal. Like you see from the video the last day, it takes a bit of time to back in, get your suction hose on. If you were literally just popping out the boom, you're saving a lot more time.
Them boys are spoiled too. Your father there, he was getting out and putting the pipe on full. Sure, he's the most active pump man I had ever seen in my life.
Well, he couldn't say sitting in the tractor anyway. He has to be out doing something and giving out mostly. No, but you're like that when you're backing in with the tanks. If you don't get in the first go, it's going to be a couple of goes to get you in. It slows things down, especially then when you're taking so quick out of the tank. And we were spreading big silage fields. You want to be able to get them in, get them out as quick as possible.
I had never seen a pump man that does. Normally they don't leave the tractor.
No.
Normally they're happy enough there sitting watching Netflix or whatever.
No, he's constantly in and out.
The contracting then, you aren't at it actually that long in the grand scheme of things. How did it come to be, or whose idea was that? Or?
No, we're only going since 2017 really. We had a small bit maybe in 2016. Charlie, my father, would have bought a Welcher baler and tractor and just doing a few small bits and pieces, and then after that then we kind of sat down once before the summer one year, myself, Charlie and Adam, my brother, and kind of said, look, is this something we kind of want to go at? Kind of made the decision then that we would, and kind of bought Fusion 1 baler then, and that gave us a lot of hassle. That was near the breaking point, yeah. And then we were kind of saying it's either like go in big now or kind of just leave it while we weren't heavily invested into it. So we bought a Fusion 3, a standard one. That gave us a couple of years, good years at it. And after that then we bought our Coon baler now that we have.
But you did take it back, well, this year's meant to be your career break, isn't it? But I think the teaching
I'm telling my mother that it's I'm still looking for jobs.
Oh, right, yeah.
There's
You're
just
actually on a job search right now.
There's just nothing around.
But I think your teaching might have been your career break, not this.
Yeah, not the other way around. Yeah.
So you were a teacher for a few years?
Yeah, so I done my college in UL, done woodwork and tech craft teaching, and finished 2 years ago, I'd say, and I done 2 years of teaching. This would be my third year if I was to get back in the saddle.
Until you couldn't find a job, you know?
yeah. It's better than just sitting at home anyway, so yeah. At least that keeps me busy now.
You couldn't find a teaching job, you say you had to go buy a track machine and go spread slurry all year round. Do you think this slurry is going to be your main gig now?
Yeah, like the way we always look at it, it's madness to have 3 tractors, 2 tractors or 4 tractors for your silage season. It makes, financially it doesn't make sense for 3 months of the year, and that's getting even shorter every year now. So we had to go down the line of, like, firstly with the card we were looking at what can keep us going in January, February, March and on throughout the year.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the thinking behind the card systems at the start.
And see the likes because you went down the track route, were you able to pick up customers you maybe weren't gonna?
Yeah, we've picked up picked up a lot of new customers this year, just because ground has been so bad. Ground has been so poor to travel. I suppose the main pro with this tractor is you're able to pull so much hose.
Yeah.
You have the power. You're turning then in headlands of the field. You're not having to do halves the fields, turning, making extra marks. At least with this, you're full into the field, turn. Look,
Yeah,
if
you
you
never,
do.
never really bother pulling pipe back.
No.
I'm thinking a lot of ways other people go is they go that smaller tractor with wider wheels,
Yeah.
and then I suppose you are missing out on the.
Yeah, like there was a field I spread a couple of weeks ago. It was 650 meters long in and around that, from top to bottom, and you're able to pull it all in one
Just
line.
take over, like.
Yeah, just set the auto steer on the first run up the field, and then swing the chair around, sit back, cross the legs.
And you haven't managed to get her stuck yet, then?
No, thank God. I don't know what would pull it out if I didn't get it stuck. Leave it there, I'd say, till June or July and come back for a later date.
That would probably be
definitely.
the only option.
No, driving straight, it's always 100% fine. It's the turning that you do the small bit of marking, but even like if you go through a bit of a wet spot, she'll always seem to just pull away through it. There doesn't seem to be, any mad tearing at all.
But there seems to be a bit of an ag to it whenever you turn, and you seem to have figured it out all right.
Yeah, it's just like that, doing kind of more or less a 3-point turn. You're not.
Because like you can turn this thing basically on the spot.
No, if you turn on the spot, you're just going to pull the straw. Yeah. Once you take it in kind of them 2 or 3 attempts up to more or less the wire off at a bit of an angle, come back then, say parallel with your wire, and then swing around then the rest of it.
You're all good. So all in all, then you think this was a good purchase?
Definitely, yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah. Like I was saying, we wouldn't be out with dual wheels.
Yeah.
So at least we're able to keep busy. We're not having to look at gear parked up in the yard.
See the likes when you're turning and stuff, you don't catch the pipe with a tracks then or anything like that, no?
No, you can catch them. It's with the wagtail, it's probably not out far enough to pass the track, but once you kind of get a good angle, you can just miss it really.
I suppose it's the same as if you had flotation on.
Yeah, flotation.
Because this thing is probably around the same, if not less, than what a tractor with flotations on or dual wheels.
Yeah, like our dual wheels is way more compact, way more, like it's not as wide as our tractor on duals. Like tractor on duals is 10.5 feet, 11 feet.
Have you got any feedback from the likes of the farmers and stuff? Would they let you back in with the dual wheels, or they want this from now on?
Yeah, they seem to be happy enough with this.
Yeah.
Like the damage we're doing is very, very minimal now. It makes more sense for this to go in.
The way you're baling in the summer and the slurry there, where maybe just not full-time work for drivers there, how do you find that alright getting boys out, or?
Yeah, we're looking at the minute at one, say myself full-time and call Charlie full-time, and we have one more with us now full-time, and then in the summer we had two more with us last year, and like that then like drivers are hard enough to get, but like we're very lucky with the 2 boys we had last year. They're very good. The 3 lads that we had drawn the slurry into the nurse tank the last day, like they're good drivers, when you send them out there's going to be no damage done, they're going to be as efficient as possible, and it just makes life easy. Like I think was it one of the boys pumping here, Garrod, he added up the calls from when we were doing the nurse tank, and it was at 48 or 49 phone calls, because they had to ring every time at the bottom of the road to see could they come up. We're blessed to have good lads driving for us when we need them, because with the price of parts now, with the price of everything, you don't want to be going to do any damage.
In the future, like what way do you see you taking the business? Do you plan on driving on, or do you think you'll end up back teaching someday, or what do you think?
No, I think I'd like to stay at it if it works out. Like we've kind of built up a good customer base now. We're doing a nice bit of work. We're doing enough to keep the stuff we have.
Yeah.
So no, definitely we'll keep tipping on. Like, this has been a great purchase. Like, we're gathering more customers, even if it's only a means of spreading in January when places are wet. Like, we'll take that. It'll keep us busy up until our silage period when we get busy. Yeah.
How far is too far to bring the Challenger down the country or up the country?
Depends really. I suppose, like, we're looking at the minute, it's always like, I suppose, have we enough of work kind of around us? Like, we're
to justify.
Like, yeah, like we've all the rest of this week booked up. We've all the rest of next week booked up at work. Like, I think if you're looking at going, say, the hour in a tractor out the road, towards the Limerick side, yeah, like, it is manageable, but at the same time we have to look after our own customers,
Yeah.
our own lads.
And the low loader's the best way to transport this thing then?
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen when we were going down to the field down the road here, like, you will be kind of rattling away inside it. So no, the low loader is the best mode of transport. It's built for road.
Yeah.
It'll do 40k, but like, the harm you're going
not
to.
ideal on the road.
No, it's not very comfortable, and also as well, like, you are going to damage the tracks. There's no way of saying otherwise. Like, you are. But yeah, no, we're happy enough with it, and happy enough with the low loader. It's a fast enough way of moving it. Like, by the time you put her up on the low loader, chain her down, it's quick enough now.